Hello everyone! Long ago, the 4 elemental lords banded together to fight for dominion over the world against the old gods and the Black Empire. Their powers combined were sadly not enough to overcome the darkness, and they had to surrender control of the planet while being enslaved themselves. In came the Titans, who were far more successful in vanquishing the Black Empire, and the elemental lords found themselves banished to the elemental plane. Years passed, mortal races took on the great forces of Ragnaros and Elakir, while Pharazane and Neptulon, they were actually aided by mortal hands. Now, the time has come for the Legion. Azeroth is being bathed in felfire, and the elements need to unite once more. It's going to take someone special to be able to accomplish such a thing, someone told of in prophecy. That's what the Shaman Order Hall campaign is all about, so let's begin, shall we? The Alliance and Horde got their asses kicked on the Broken Isles, but they weren't the only ones who felt the pain of the demons. The elders of the Earthen Ring, they've called an emergency council near the heart of our world, the Maelstrom.
It's a massacre out there. All around the world, our forces fall back. Unless we find a way to turn this around, Azeroth will fall. The greatest shaman in the world are gathering below. What's left of them, that is.
Yes, we must strike back. But how?
We need weapons capable of overcoming the Legion.
Here there are no factions. We few are all that remain of the Earthen Ring, and together we must struggle, or surely we will perish alone. Survivors continue to make the way here from the 4 corners of Azeroth, and they need hope if they are to rejoin the fight. We must inspire them by healing their griffin, empowering the Maelstrom pillar with a bit of lightning, and the most inspiring thing of all, call upon the elements and light a campfire.
What kind of shaman can't light a fire?
Shush, you! This wood be wet, and me hands be shaken.
Yet not even the Maelstrom is safe, as Gazoon and his demonic forces, they show up to finish what they started at the Broken Shore.
Thank you, shaman!
The Highlands are completely overrun. The clan is scattered.
Look out!
They followed us here!
Bah! I knew your crap bird was too slow! My bird would have been quick if she wasn't hauling your fat ass!
We can fight this, but we must work together.
Here is where you insects crawled. Take to your knees, and my master may yet be merciful. Your master has not won yet. I've got this one, Shaman. Help the others. Spirits, hear my call. Are you the so-called World Shaman? Ha! You fight like a crippled bird!
Over here, shaman! Take
You're
up my
a champion
spear.
in
The winds
making.
will guide your strike.
Help the others.
The elements call.
Wildhammer!
Do it! Bring it down!
It is ready! Everyone, focus on the pillar, quickly!
You will die! Your precious earthen ring will shatter! Your world will succumb! The Legion will... The Doomhammer.
By pooling our power together, we are able to defeat Gazoon and his forces, but Thrall is clearly struggling. His relationship with the elements, it has changed ever since the events on Draenor, where he took out Garrosh Hellscream. He has some soul searching to do, while we go out and claim our artifact, and upon returning, Thrall decides that we must pick up what he can no longer do. We must lead the Earthen Ring.
We stand at the precipice of oblivion, but we do not stand alone. Come forward, shaman. We take your place among the circle, Farseer. The Earthen Ring is forged anew, and with it, we rekindle hope for this world. You are the chosen defender of Azeroth. May your wisdom guide this circle to victory, and may the power of the weapon you wield crush those who would bring chaos to this land.
Step this way, Farseer. The torrent tell of hidden chambers below that may serve as a base of operations.
With the might of our artifact, we open up the way to a whole secret base ready to go, mission board included. The weapon, it holds even more potential, which we can unlock down below at the Ancient Element altar, overlooking the fury of the Maelstrom. The Shaman of the Earthen Ring are under our command now, and they'll lead our efforts against the Legion. All we need to do is pick a first point of attack, and off we go, killing our enemies and making allies throughout the Broken Isles. After gaining a bit of experience, Mackie Firebeard delivers the message that Nobundo is looking for us back at base. A great ritual is about to take place, and they've requested our presence. As we get back, Nobundo explains that long ago, the first Farseer of the Earthen Ring was given a vision of the elements. In the vision, she foresaw the arrival of a new Farseer, one who would lead them through a time of terrible crisis and unite the elements. He believes that we are the Farseer of this prophecy, called to lead before we were ever born. The time has come to fulfill our destiny. We will perform the ritual Tide and call upon Neptulon the Tidehunter, the first of the 4 great elemental lords. Some of you who've been keeping up with the lore, you might remember that last we saw Neptulon, he was in the hands of Ozumat. They planned to do more with the Abyssal Maw during the Cataclysm, but that sadly never made it in, and for the longest time fans speculated as to what's going on with Neptulon. It appears that they're going with the explanation that they gave on Twitter, which said that Neptulon was able to free himself.
Shaman of the Earthen Ring, let our powers combine. We call upon Neptulon, the great Lord of Tides, in the name of Azeroth. Hear our words and answer the call of the Earthen Ring.
Shaman of the Earthen Ring, you have called, but I already know the threat we face. The Burning Legion has come. You should make use of the little time you have left, mortals.
All is not lost, Tidehunter. If the Elemental Lords unite...
Foolish mortals! There is no unity among the Lords of Elements.
Would you bow to Sargeras and be his slave instead? Pathetic.
What do you suggest, little orc? Shall I fight the Burning Legion myself?
You will not fight alone. The Earthen Ring is with you, and we will gather the other Elemental Lords to our cause.
There was a time, long ago, when the elements fought as one. Perhaps there is still hope. Very well, Shaman. I will join the fight to save this world. I shall also send Hydraxis to aid the Earthen Ring. He is my greatest champion and will prove valuable in your quest.
This is not the first time that Hydraxis is working together with mortals, since way back when he was helping heroes of Azeroth with Assault to the Molten Core and provided them with Aqual Quintessence, which was used to douse the ruins in the core. Now he's working with us once again as a champion, and we also get Stormcaller Myra to send out on missions.
The battlefield awaits.
Aye, this'll be good!
Now that we've recruited champions of our order, we can use them to complete vital assignments across the Broken Isles. The first one is critical, since Summoner Morn, a renowned master of the elementals, was on his way to the heart of Azeroth when he was attacked. Our champions are sent out to help him, and upon returning, we gain the ability to summon lesser elementals, who they, in turn, can be sent on missions with our champions. It appears that we'll need these troops sooner than we thought, since the Hydraxian Waterlords, they just sent a distress call from Azuna. Perfect opportunity for our summoned elementals to do some work, and not only do they save the Waterlords, they also find Journeyman Goldmine. This goblin is into some unorthodox research, but his knowledge gives us the opportunity to perform research and find ways of upgrading the Order Hall.
Hey, how you doing?
With our base under control, it's time to focus on our main task of uniting the elements. The first one to shoot for is the element of air. Now you might remember destroying Aleki the Windlord during the Cataclysm, and ever since that moment, Skywall has been in turmoil. We need to figure out what the current political situation is, and this is not me making things up, this is literally a quest. The elemental plane of air has a political situation. Who knew that the elements were so into politics? Either way, we send representatives of the Earthen Ring into Skywall to negotiate with the elementals of air. When they come back, they inform inform us that the place is in turmoil, but our champions did identify a powerful elemental who may be willing to aid our cause. Once upon a time, there was an heir to the throne of Four Winds named Prince Vanderan, but the prince was ambushed by Ragnaros' forces, and the Fire Lord consumed Vanderan as much as he could. He was unable to consume him entirely, and what little remained of Vanderan's essence, it was stored within the Talisman of Elemental Binding. The talisman was then split into two, given to Ragnaros' lieutenants, to which mortals, as they ventured into the molten core, they collected the pieces, and with the guidance of High Lord Dimitrian, they summoned Vanderan to the mortal realm. Now don't get me wrong, they didn't do this out of kindness, not out of loyalty to the element of air. Oh no, they just wanted his shiny weapon and make jokes within trade chats. That means that someone out there has a weapon which holds the soul of Vanderan. To resurrect him and restore him as the elemental lord of air, we must find this sword and return it to Skywall. Last Dimitrian heard was that the betrayer who stole his master's sword traveled to the Broken Isles to fight demons. In Azuna, we find this betrayer dead on the floor, beaten by the mighty Rage Maw, and Thunder Fury has been damaged. The power that once flowed through this weapon is nearly extinguished, so we must act quickly or Vanderan might be lost forever.
There has been no peace here since the death of Alakir, Shaman.
Without a Windlord, Skywall will forever remain in turmoil.
Thunder Fury can be restored, but will require a rare essence known as the Heart of Skywall. Vortos, the Duke of the East Winds, possesses the heart, but he does not share a desire of bringing back Vanderan, and he will not give it willingly.
Let the wind sky will begin the preparations for Thunderon's rebirth. Find me when Thunder Fury has been recharged.
An entire plane of existence dedicated to the element of air. It is truly wondrous. I have seen nothing like it on my own world. I wonder if such a place exists beyond Azeroth. I do not envy you, my friend. To lead our order through this crisis must weigh heavily on your shoulders. When the Burning Legion invaded Draenor, I failed to save my people, to save my home. We must unite the elements to our cause, else our worlds share the same fate.
Begone, mortals! The time of the Windlords has passed.
The heart of Skywall holds the power to recharge the blade. We should continue onward with great haste.
Quickly, Shaman! Hand me the blessed blade, and Thunderon will return! The heavens await. Thanks to you, Thunder Fury has been restored, and Thunderon's spirit can finally be released.
At long last, the Windseeker has returned to his rightful place as heir to the throne of Four Winds, and better yet, he has no hard feelings about mortals stealing his swords or keeping his soul imprisoned.
The armies of Skywall shall stand shoulder to shoulder with the mortal races in battle against the Burning Legion. When the fog of battle clears and the Burning Legion is defeated, we shall stand victorious. Now go, tell your earthen ring that the Windseeker lives again.
The Windlord has pledged to aid the Earthen Ring in the war against the Burning Legion, but there's little time for celebration since not all of his subjects have taken to his leadership kindly. In his kingdom, there is still unrest. It appears that there are 4 viziers, former lieutenants of Alakir, that have risen up against him: Mistius, Zeph, Alakris and Tulmos. We will let Vanderan focus on the war against the Burning Legion, while we send our champions to aid Skywall against its enemies. To support the troops, 2 more champions step up to the plate: Nobundo and Consular Celestos, sent by Vanderan to aid us.
I will do my best to guide you.
Where there is wind, so am I.
Not only our champions go back into the realm of air, since Elementalist Janai, she wants to restore the Maelstrom Pillar and infuse it with the essence of air. A large quantity of Mistral essence will be required to do this, and this essence can be found on many of the elementals within the Vortex Pinnacle. To anchor the elements to the pillar, Jaina requires a powerful relic known as the Scepter of Storms, which we retrieve from the dead body of Lady Hatecoil. Now I don't know if this pillar will play a bigger role in the future, but for now restoring it only grants us access to a minor buff. Either way, air and water are now on our side, now it's time to focus on Earth. We will need to convince Farseer the Stone Mother to join forces with us, but so far she's been absent from our negotiations. There have been whispers of a new threat arising from within Deepholm, and if these rumors are true, she may have need of our aid. More diplomatic missions are required as our followers go into Deepholm to assert the situation. Their mission is a success, they were able to make contact with Farseer, but the situation there is worse than we feared.
I will not fight the Burning Legion while the Twilight's hammer lays siege to Deepholm.
We understand, Stone Mother. The Earthen Ring stands by you.
The Stone Mother has her hands full battling the Twilight's Hammer resurgence. The purpose of the Twilight's Hammer, it has always been the same. They seek to bring about the end of the world. Their schemes may change, but their wicked purpose remains constant.
Let go. Destroy the Twilight's Hammer and you shall win my favor.
Together with Moon Earthfury, another former leader of the Earthen Ring, we venture into the Twilight Throne to uncover the plot that the Twilight's Hammer is hatching and putting an end to their schemes. Besides killing a whole bunch of the cultists, we also search the camp and we find the Master's journal hinting at what they're trying to do here.
Our work is nearly finished. Do not allow these meddling shaman to interfere with the rituals. The Twilight's Hammer is all but destroyed. This once great order has been laid low, scattered and leaderless. But I have heard the prayers of their faithful, crying out for destruction. I will take these poor, pathetic creatures under my wing and lead them to the glorious destiny they yearn for. Dark secrets have been revealed to me through the void. Ways of subjugating the elements to my will. My children will learn these secrets, and together we shall tear this world asunder. My little ones learn quickly. They drink from the void and thirst endlessly for more. The destruction of Azeroth is at hand. Soon, the very elements that shape this world will cause its demise.
You have my attention. These are troubling words, Farseer.
According to the Master's Journal, the Twilight Hammer has discovered a method of harnessing the void to subjugate even the most powerful of elementals. The journal specifically mentioned the children of Farseer as test subjects, so we need to free these elementals and stop these dark rituals from continuing, while also saving the prisoners that have been enslaved by the Twilight's Hammer.
Twilight whelps. I thought the Twilight Dragonflight were extinct. We have put an end to the rituals. But I fear the worst is yet ahead of us. By the Earth Mother, it is just as I feared. The Twilight Dragonflight has returned.
The Twilight Dragonflight was created by Syntharia, Deathwing's consort that actually survived mating with the mad aspects, and you might remember facing her during the Cataclysm. It's interesting that we see a resurgence of the flight, since the dragons, they're said to be no longer able to reproduce, and the Twilight Dragons, they're usually formed by magically modifying stolen dragon eggs. It's also possible to have a brood mother, which seems to be the case here, but the question remains, where did these eggs come from? Did they exist before the aspects fulfilled their destiny at the end of the Cataclysm, or did Xerixia lay them, and is it only the dragonflights with an aspect connected to them that can no longer breed? Questions for another day, since right now we need to put a stop to these plans and make sure that the Twilight Dragonflight, that it does not become another threat to deal with.
Did you really think you could stop me? Foolish children! The blood of Syntharia flows through my veins, and her voice whispers to me from the dark beyond. The Twilight Dragonflight lives, and our destiny is at hand! Even in death, we shall endure. Mother, I return.
Go. The earthen ring has done a great service to Deepholm. We will return the favor. The Stone Mother always pays her debts.
The Earthen Ring is deeply grateful, Stone Mother.
As a symbol of our alliance, I will bestow upon you one of my greatest warriors. Protect the Earthen Ring, Avalancheon. Pave the ground with the corpses of the Burning Legion.
As you wish, Stone Mother.
We should return to the heart of Azeroth, Farseer. There is still much to be done.
Aye, you go on ahead there. We'll be along soon.
Verezane wonders if Zarixia was not the last of her kind, but those are worries for another day. For now, we have the gratitude of Deepholm and Verezane's allegiance. She has even sent Avalancheon to become one of her champions, and Mool, he was honored to fight at her side and would like to keep going.
I obey. The elements shall guide you.
With Verezane's allegiance, we now have 3 of the Elemental Lords united to our cause, but one still remains. The time has come to return to the Firelands, the place where we were forced to go before, as Ragnaros the Fire Lord had become a massive threat to the world. Killing him in his own realm made sure that he was vanquished for good, but even back then we knew that a new Fire Lord would rise.
Ragnaros has perished, but the primal powers he represents can never be vanquished. Another will rise to power someday.
We're going to have to send our very best champions to make contact with the elements there and find the information that we need to bring the Firelands into our fold. We also need to keep an eye on Deepholm, since even though Zarixia might have been slain, the Twilight's Hammer has not fully abandoned their efforts yet, and we should send a strike team. Then there is also the war with the Burning Legion that's still raging on, and before we turn our full attention to the Firelands, we should turn our gaze to the Broken Isles and complete 30 world quests. In the meantime, Elementalist Janai is still hard at work at restoring the Maelstrom Pillar, and as of late, she's been focusing on research on the element of Earth. In order to imbue the Maelstrom Pillar with the essence of Earth, we will need one of the rarest fossils found on Azeroth, the Egg of Kalaf. This is no ordinary egg. It contains the remnants of an unborn earthen primal, perfectly preserved in stone. Mahad the Indomitable, in Deepholm, he possesses this rare egg, but in return, he will need 10 blood of Sargeras. Does he need it to craft armor or empower anything? Nope, he just enjoys the taste as he guzzles the blood of Sargeras down his throat and hands over the egg. For the ritual to work, we will need to awaken the latent elemental energy resting inside the egg. There's an item that has the ability to do this, a relic known as the Earthen Amulet, rumored to have been created by Loken himself. Neltharion collected many valuable relics, and it has fallen into the hands of Darkrul the Underking, so we travel to Neltharion's vault, we bring down Darkrul, and we return with the amulet so Janai can do her thing and we get another buff. This does give her followers the time to finish their missions in the Firelands, and they were successful. As we speak, an endless war rages for control of the Firelands. Of the 2 aspiring Fire Lords, Lord Smolderon hates mortals less. If we help him defeat his rivals and ascend the Fire Lord, he may unite with us in return. The champions of the Earthen Ring, they've already made their way to the Firelands, so we go out to meet up with them and find a way to turn this old enemy into a new ally.
Soon, Lord Smolderon, you will kneel before the true Fire Lord.
Fire Lord? You are nothing but a pile of rocks!
We will slay Pyroth, his champions, and bring the elemental heart of Pyroth to Smolderon himself. Nothing is more humiliating than death at the hands of a mortal, and if we succeed, Lord Smolderon will grant us an audience.
May your fire
and support the Farseer!
shall
Show the Firelands the strength of the Earthen Ring!
Ha! I was hoping for a warm welcome, but this isn't what I had in mind.
Are you so weak, Lord Smolderon, that you require the help of mortals?
These mortals do my bidding. A pity you do not share their enthusiasm.
Chargor, my champion, you will pay, mortal.
Your champions crumble, Pyroth.
Destroy the imposter, Shaman. Bring me his heart. You approach your demise, Shaman. Turn back while you still live. You dare oppose the son of Ryolith? You will be destroyed. Slain by a mortal? It cannot be. You may enter, but spare me your pleas for help, Shaman. I know of the Earthen Ring's plan to unite the elements. The Burning Legion threatens us all, but the power of the Firelands must be earned. Approach my throne, and we shall see just how far you will go to save this world.
Smolderon devours the heart with great pleasure, but to show his dominion as a Fire Lord, he will require a symbol, a weapon that will strike fear into the hearts of all who dare to oppose his rule. Deep within the den of Cinderweb, there's an ancient spear born from within the heart of the Firelands. This weapon is called Emberscar, Brand of Damnation. It is a living weapon of legend that can only be wielded by a Fire Lord, whose wicked power is beyond mortal comprehension. Smolderon sends us out to prove our strength and claim Emberscar in his name, but what he's really doing is sending us out to claim a powerful artifact to wield it in the war against the Legion. See, that's how you lead a faction. Just send your champions out to collect these powerful weapons in your name, and in return, perhaps you will aid them. We have so much to learn.
What a delicious looking intruder! It has been ages since I've dined on mortal flesh. Long have I hungered for the taste. Welcome to my web, delicious mortal. I do hope you'll stick around. This mortal seeks to awaken the cursed weapon! Devour the shaman, my children! My precious children! I will devour you! I will rend your flesh and dine on your entrails! Avenge me, my children! Avenge me!
Well done, Farseer. Emberscar is mine, and those who oppose my rule lay silenced. As a symbol of my allegiance, I shall send my servant Scaldius to aid the Earthen Ring. The Burning Legion shall tremble before the terror of the Fire Lord.
Smolderon's rivals lay dead, and there are none within the Firelands who dare oppose his rule. A new Fire Lord has risen, but one that's on our side. We have done the near impossible. We have united the 4 elemental lords in the defense of Azeroth.
We must... Shaman of the Earthen Ring. We gathered together to commemorate the newly forged alliance. Today, we are witness to the fulfillment of prophecy. The Farseer of the Earthen Ring has united the great elemental lords to save Azeroth.
The Burning Legion will fall. The demons are no match for the fury of the elements.
Earth and stone shall rise to shield our world from the demon onslaught.
It will be an honor to battle at your side, Farseer. Together we shall scatter the demons like dust in the wind. Go forth, Farseer, as champion of the elements, and bring defeat to the Burning Legion.
The Earthen Ring stands with you as well, my friend. There is still much to do. Advisor Seville is waiting for you. He is making preparations for the coming battle against the Burning Legion.
Seville did not think that he would live to see the day when the 4 great elemental lords would unite with the mortal races of Azeroth. We have done what no other Farseer has done in the history of the Earthen Ring. Skaldius is sent by the Fire Lord to aid us, and even Rhaegar Earthfury, hero of the storm, he's always respected our courage in battle, but to see us unite the elemental lords like that and champion the Earthen Ring, it's been an honor to behold. Though the elements are united, our work is not yet done, and he offers his services as our champion.
I will fight to my last breath.
Our efforts have not gone unnoticed. The spirits have watched all that we have done, and they're pleased. They also showed Nobundo a technique that will unleash the true power of our weapon.
With faith...
Farseer, the spirits have watched the bond between you and your ancient weapon grow stronger. They have shown us a way to harness the resources you've gathered to unlock the artifact's true potential. Raise your weapon to the skies, Farseer. Let the spirits of earth, air, fire, and water aid their champion's cause! The lifeblood of Azeroth flows through your weapon. May you wield it with wisdom against our foes.
And so we will. This is where the Shaman Orderhall campaign ends for the moment, but the war against the Legion goes on. We have the power of the elements and their lords at our side, and hopefully under our leadership, we will do better than when they united against the Black Empire. Only time will tell, but for now, that's the end of the video. Now, I really enjoyed going through this campaign. The start was a little bit off, with aiding the Shaman, with the most mundane tasks, with Neptulon sending himself free, that's a little bit disappointing, but it really picked up later on, and seeing the lords united is really, really cool. I can't wait to see what the next chapter is going to bring, but for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time, guys, see ya!